Welcome to the new video about Cow Zero Nightmare, and today developers presented the new character, which is going to be Yuki. She's going to be a striker with the order element, and a lot of players are going to have a question if she's worth it, what kind of unique mechanics we can think about her as a character, as a DPS unit. Obviously she's going to be a DPS unit, and should you go for her? So I'm going to explain in a little bit of details about her mechanics, how she's going to work. We're going to go through her cards, discuss these aspects a little bit, and potential team building, which teams she is going to benefit the most. So let's start with this. Her ultimate is looking great, her visuals are amazing. But anyways, yeah, we're going to start with discussing specifically her abilities. So her unique mechanics is going to be around inspiration. This is basically going to be activated when you're going to pull different cards, hero cards, through special ability of drawing cards. So this means that the characters we're going to focus on specifically for her are going to be characters that are going to pull cards in your hand, and among them we might think about obviously Nia, Cassius, and also I believe Veronica from 5 stars. So this is going to be like a grade 1 aspect, a grade 1 moment to utilize her in more, let's say, flexible way, because having like two characters that are going to help scroll your deck, this is really effective. The question is going to be about survivability only, the only question that is going to be presented. And obviously during the chaos runs, I believe using like two support units which are going to help you pull cards from the deck isn't going to be really sustainable. Be Real is actually going to be a good option as well. But yeah, the whole idea about the chaos runs that we need to think about the survivability. So some healers or shielders, I believe, are going to be important. About Yuki, also an important aspect to keep in mind, that her cards are going to be kinda cheap. They really are. It's like 0, 1, some of them 2, but they can reduce the cost to 1. So it's not like the way you're going to utilize her with Clip, for example. You can use with her Magna, which is going to be a good shielder, maybe Maribel, maybe someone else, like from the top of my head, I don't know, maybe an Amir. Who knows, it might be the case. But also Mika is still a good and viable option in terms of healing, in terms of increasing AP and helping to utilize your hand more effectively. But again, scrolling aspect is going to be an important one. So we might think again at least one character is going to be or Nia or Cassius or Veronica. That's being said, we are going to keep this in mind. And the main question, what's the difference between her and the two other DPS units that we have in the order element? Among them are going to be Hugo and Luke. So when we're speaking about Luke and Hugo, most importantly that they're single target DPS units. In terms of Yuki, it's a little bit different. She has cards which are going to deal an AoE damage, and obviously we weren't able to see all the epiphanies which she might get during her chaos runs. The only thing that I can mention here is that certain epiphanies are going to increase damage drastically of certain cards. Some are going to scale based on number of cards that you are going to hold in your hand. So yeah, like multipliers are going to be decent. You might build her in a way as a massive nuker and probably as a spammer character, like with Rin for example, and she's able to buff the damage output of her cards on her own, again based on the inspiration effects. She has a great card, but let's have a look at her cards more specifically. So the first card, which is going to cost 0, it's able to draw one of these units attack card, plus 20% damage to that card for one turn, which is helping to again utilize her inspiration effect. The second card is going to cost 2 mana, 180% damage to all enemies, so it's an AoE 1. Inspiration reduce cost by 1, so it's going to cost 1 AP whenever you're going to pull this card in your hand through different abilities. The other one card is going to cost 1 AP, it has a retain effect, so it's going to stay in your hand for no matter what the time is going to be, for how long you need to have it, deals 150% damage to a single target, activate inspiration to one random card in hand, which is a great ability, so you want to keep this card to activate some her key and important cards to deal more damage. An upgrade card which is unique when using own card with an activated inspiration effect, 60% damage to all enemies, so it's going to be like an additional AoE damage dealing card, like a passive one after you're going to activate it, and whenever the inspiration effect is going to take place, you're going just to do like, let's say, a DOT damage, but it's not like in terms of Tressa, it's a little bit different, 60%, not that much, but we'll need to see how, for example, her epiphanies are going to work on this card specifically. And her unique card, 180% damage to all enemies, another one AoE, inspiration plus 1 extra hit, minus 20% damage for the second hit, I guess. Overall, it's not a huge loss, and the amount of damage that you're able to deal here is going to be kind of decent. So in terms of her AoE abilities, it's a huge one aspect, it's a huge amount of damage that she is able to deal, but for single targets there are quite some options. And her Ega skill is going to provide 300% damage to all enemies, move all own attack cards in hand to the top of the draw pile, plus 50% damage per card moved. Not a bad thing. So you want to collect a lot of her cards in your hand, use the ultimate, damage is going to be increased, and this is going to be a massive AoE nuke. So let's make a brief summary here about her. Is she worth it or not really? Order element, yeah, she's going to be a DPS unit, and mainly she's going to focus on AoE damage. We saw, I believe, all of her unique cards, but they didn't show her basic cards. We didn't see her epiphanies. Let's say we can have an understanding that some of them are going to pull more than one card, for example. Her card specifically, the inspiration is going to activate different effects, which might be a damage multipliers or reducing the cost of different cards. In this case, she's going to be more cost effective DPS unit, and she's going to rely a lot on scrolling the deck and find for her key cards. Survivability is going to matter a lot as well for the team, especially in terms of chaos runs, so you need to have the other slot for the defender or the healer. If she is a must go for, from my point of view, not really. Like, we have Hugo, we have Luke. If you have them, she's not that mandatory, let's say. We are probably able to deal with the order planet, with the order maps without any questions if you have any one of them, because again, the most important part is going to be about the stages where there are bosses and you need to deal a lot of damage to a single target. In this map specifically, she might be useful a lot for different maps or modes, for example, which are going to be presented where there are going to be multiple enemies. A lot of her cards are going to be around AoE damage and really cost effective. So this is a huge benefit, let's say, from characters which are AoE focused heavily specifically. They usually have quite an expensive cards. For her, it's not the case. The question is going to be if she is able to provide enough damage to a single target, and this question we can't really answer right now because we didn't see her epiphanies. Well, I mean, we'll have to see. My understanding right now, she's not really that mandatory. If you don't have any other character with the order element, she's a good fit. I believe you will be able to optimize her in a way to clear everything in the order planets, in the order maps. And she's a good AoE damage dealer, but is it mandatory? Again, at least for now, not really. We'll have to see what kind of modes they're going to present, and maybe for some of them she is going to be a better fit than anyone else. That's the brief summary that I have right now. Me personally, I'm going for her because I love her aesthetics, you know what I mean. And I didn't build any order DPS unit yet, so I wanna focus on her, and I think that they're going to be quite an interesting combinations with her. With that being said, hope you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.